Right, so this little video clip, we're actually going to be looking at the first average, the most common one that we use with geography, and the one that has been examined in 2018 and 19 is the mean average. In this instance here, we have referred to it as central tendency, as you can see here. They do use those words in the exam. Effectively, they mean the average, and the first one we are looking at here is the mean. Now, in this instance, what we have got is a series of 12 areas of a city. Each of those areas has been given a housing quality rating from 1, which is very poor, up to 10, which is very, very good. And what we need to do with that is we need to understand what the average rating for houses in this particular city are. Now, if you get this question in an exam or something similar, you don't need to know the city, you don't need to know how they grade them, you're interested only in the data. So what we've got here is we have got 1 to 12, which means that in this box here, we need to have 1 to 12 ratings. Now, in the exam, this would be worth 2 marks. You get 1 mark for getting the question right. 2 marks for getting the question right. But they do ask you to show your working, because if you don't get the question right, you can still gain a mark if you can show you tried to work it out correctly. So what we've got here, let's have a look. We are going to have effectively 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 2 plus 9 plus 3 plus 10 plus 1 plus 5 plus 8 plus 10 plus 1. Now, if we just work that one out very, very quickly, then we have 4 plus 6 is 10, 16, 18, 27, 30, 40, 41, 46, 54, 64, 65. Now what we do, because there are 12 variables, that gives us a result of 65, and we divide that by 12 because we have 1 to 12 here. Okay, so we have 12 different sets of data. So if we do 65 divided by 12, that brings us out with a score of 5.41. Now you must be very careful, because sometimes they ask you to give it to the nearest whole number, to the 1 decimal place. So if we were to do that to the nearest whole number, okay, nearest whole number, oops, let's get rid of that, nearest whole number, then that comes out as 5, and 1 decimal place equals 5.4, because the 1 you just round down to the 4. Now, you'll notice I've put a positive and a negative. Let's look at the negative first of all. So the negative is that the mean data can be really severely affected by what we call an outlier. So we know the average here is 5, but we also know that this 10 here and this 10 here and this one here are going to really bring the score either up or down. Okay, they're right at the ends of this spectrum. So effectively what we've got is out of 12 places in the city, 2 of them are scoring a very good rating of 10. This will bring the score up, so it will make the whole city look better. But then we've got this area of 1, which brings it right back down again. If you look at the average of 5.4, then you'll notice that this is relatively close, as is this and this and this, as is that. So we've actually only got 1, 2, 3, 4 scores close to the average. We've got a 9, 2 10s, and a 1. So you need to be very, very clear with what you're looking to get from the data. Positives of this is that it can be used for planning. So if you were to think about planning for number of tourists in a tourist resort, you might want to know what the mean average is for each month of the year of tourist visitors. That way it would allow you to employ more staff, bring more food in, open up for longer, etc. So there are lots of benefits to using the mean. Shops will use it because they need to know what their average takings are going to be across the year. Again, that determines on how they will order their stock. So think about the mean. The main negative is the outliers. They can really change your average and give you a false average. And then the positives, it does allow for some type of planning. Okay, that's that one. Thank you.